Welcome to the Holotropic Psychedelic Integration Podcast, Episode 6. I'm Art Granoff.
And I'm James Moran.
July 1st, 2023. We want to wish a happy birthday to Stanislav Grof, 92 years old. Happy birthday, Stan. All righty.
Yeah, so in previous podcasts, we've looked at the expanded cartography of Stanislav Grof. We've also looked at the basic perinatal matrices of Stanislav Grof. And we've looked at the astrological archetypes of archetypal astrology and how Stan Grof and Richard Tarnas discovered how they lined up, the outer planet archetypes line up with the basic perinatal matrices of Stan Grof. So if that's all news to you, go back and check out our earlier episodes. And here we have Albert Hofmann's chart, in which he has the three outermost planets in what are called aspect with each other, alignment with each other. We've got Uranus, Pluto, and Neptune, and we can see that that tension between those archetypes in his life, in the sense that Uranus is the archetype of the rebel and the freeing release. And Albert Hofmann was the creator of LSD, which is a psychedelic medicine that is very both Neptunian and Plutonic, in the sense that it helps dissolve the ego and dissolve egoic boundaries. That's very Neptunian. And it helps promote inner transformation, the fires of transformation inside oneself, which is very Plutonic. And Uranus is there as the kind of the rebel, releasing, freeing of those two potentials. And so Albert Hofmann was kind of that catalyst for creating, or he was the you could say the innovative agent who created that catalyst of LSD, which was this great releasing catalyst for the Neptunian potential and the Plutonic potential within us.
What are archetypes? By Stan Grof. Archetypes are timeless, primordial principles, underlining, forming, and informing the fabric of the material world. The tendency to interpret the world in terms of archetypal principles first emerged in ancient Greece and was one of the most striking characteristics of Greek philosophy and culture. Archetypes are timeless essences, cosmic ordering principles, which can manifest as mythic personifications or specific deities in various cultures. They express themselves through the individual psyche and its deeper processes, but they do not originate in the human mind and are not its products. And the planetary archetype Neptune, BPM1, unifies whatever it touches. It's what's ideal, or conversely, delusion. Saturn, BPM2, encloses or restricts whatever it touches. Can't get through. Fear. Also strength and safety. And Pluto, BPM3, intensifies whatever it touches. Distinction expressed in the arts. Also domination or possession. And Uranus, BPM4, liberates whatever it touches. Release, breakthroughs, or too free, indifferent. We notice in Albert Hofmann's chart, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Now we add Saturn. We see Saturn is connected with Uranus, with Neptune, and with Pluto. Here's Saturn with the outer planets. Saturn, BPM2, is limit, being stuck, the critic, the ending of things, or what's stable and solid and grounded. With Uranus, BPM4, leaning on science, heritage, what's acceptable, versus what's new, exciting, and possible. Hofmann uses traditional methods, opening the psychedelic door. With Neptune, BPM1, imagination, dreams, what's optimal, actualizing dreams in the world, or big plans without legs. And with Pluto, BPM3, the intensified mind, reaching under the surface, finding the prize, penetrating to our core. Let's add Mercury. We notice Mercury is with Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto.
Yeah, so Mercury is associated with thinking, communicating, any sort of transfer of data, any sort of writing, communicating, gesticulating, uh, even within our own minds, perception, perceiving information, thinking, having the data transfer from point A to point B. Okay, so yeah, so we've got Mercury with Saturn. He's he's in the field of chemistry, and he's got kind of a structured way of thinking, systematic way of thinking. We've got Mercury with Uranus, which is associated with the sudden Uranian breakthroughs and insights, the kind of the flash of insight, the lightning bulb that goes off, and he had that in his life in the sense that he first synthesized LSD in 1938, and then he got a flash of insight that he should synthesize it again, 1943. And he actually had a kind of a sudden, unexpected intoxication with the substance because it's so powerful and such a minute dosage. There's something in that maybe he had rubbed his eye or something like that, which is a kind of a kind of like a Uranian unexpected change of state of mind, and he experiences the first LSD trip. So we can look at Mercury with Neptune, and Mercury with Neptune is associated with Neptune tends to dissolve boundaries, and so since Mercury has to do with the mind and perception, there can be kind of a sense of intuition, a sense of being able to perceive things that are subtle, and so again, that intuition that he should come back to LSD, and he also has a description of his first intentional journey when he intentionally took LSD, that is Neptunian. It's very descriptive. It's very dreamlike, the description. It's also Uranian because it's kind of funny. It's comical. It involves him. Mercury is associated with movement. It involves the narration of him riding his bike while on the first LSD trip. And it's very mercurial because he's both communicating the journey and he's moving at the time, and it's Uranian Neptunian because his perception's so altered, and it's quite funny. It's good to read. It's become a classic in the field of psychedelic assisted healing, such that first date of his first LSD trip is now celebrated around the world as Bicycle Day, because of his bicycle journey. So Mercury with Pluto, the ability for his mind to really dig, penetrate, and have kind of like an unrelenting depth of insight, both in his chemistry and also in his way of thinking about his wonder child that he created, which is LSD.
Well, here we are continuing with Albert Hofmann's chart. We've got a little bit more to go. We're going to continue next time. Okay, now we're going to switch gears. Met James over in Denver at Psychedelic Science 2023. And here's just a brief review of some of the stuff there. There's Stan Grof and a panel discussion right over there. I saw Michael Pollan speak in a big stage talking about psychedelics and changing his mind. From my hotel room one night, there was the moon, Venus, and Mars conjunction. Looked pretty good. I was watching it for a couple of hours. A couple of the vendors, there was this cat, Meta Hemp, He was talking about how his specific products are very low THC, something new in the market. And this guy, the mushroom salesman, okay, had these kits where you buy a bag from him, and it it ends there, and in a short while you get mushrooms like this. There was about 15 of these guys all around the place. There we are, James, with some of our Bay Area colleagues right there, looking good, right by the Women in Psychedelics Network. Yeah. And there's James and I on the floor right after I did holotropic breath work. Do I look it? Just had a little lunch after I got off the mat there. And there we are at Psychedelic Science 2023.
Yeah, psychedelic science was a really special moment. 12,000 people there to move this field forward, connect with each other, and come up with new connections, new inspirations to take this field where it will go into the future, which is some very exciting places that will benefit all of humanity. You know, it's really the cutting edge of where our psycho-spiritual evolution is going as a collective. So this is where kind of like technological the futuristic meets the spiritual. This is kind of like the sacred technologies becoming actually the future technologies that will allow humankind to kind of enter into new vistas of our evolution on this planet and beyond.
So happy birthday once again, Stan Grof, with friends at Esalen a couple of years ago. And here come our offerings.
Yeah, so this summer I'm going to be running the Paradigm Shift Integration Circle. It's a 7-week online circle. It'll be an adventure in self-discovery. We've got a great group and welcome you to join us. We're using archetypal astrology to basically understand our lives, our birth charts, and our current transits to such an extent that we can basically, when we have archetypal astrology paired with psychedelic assisted healing, we have a depth of insight into our lives. We can really make some startlingly clear sense of our lives, where we've come from, why we've come from, where we've come from, where we're going, and then also of actually creation itself, the life, the universe, how it's ordered, what are the kind of fundamental underlying orders of creation and perception. So this is kind of the cutting edge of humankind's psycho-spiritual development. So come join us in this, be an early adopter of this cutting edge. We're going to be looking at your birth chart. We're going to be looking at your transits. We can look at dates if you like for planning psychedelic assisted healing sessions. Paradigm Shift Integration Circle. Come check it out.
And I've got stuff too. Hey, you can schedule a birth chart reading with me ongoing. The address is up top there. And August and September of this year, I'm teaching the Picture and Hourglass introductory course with Archetypal Explorer. Get in the driver's seat with 4 classes and a birth chart reading with me. And then September, it's the Holotropic Psychedelic Integration Module. Become integrated, be the breakthrough. Talk about blending consciousness research with archetypal astrology. Talk about the outer planets related to your deep journeys. We can revisit different dates of previous breathwork sessions and psychedelic sessions, and selecting timing for ongoing sessions. It's a couple of classes plus a long personal transit reading with me. So thanks for tuning to the Holotropic Psychedelic Integration Podcast, where we engage with a system as fantastic as the journey itself. So see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks.